It is my absolute pleasure to be joined today by author Elia Mendoza. She is the author of the newly released book, Silent Strength: Shadows of Domestic Violence and Workplace Bias. Elia, tell us about this incredible book.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So, this book is my journey as a survivor of domestic violence and what comes after that, the stigma that follows after leaving a horrible situation and then facing the world as a new person, pretty much a new life. And that stigma that follows us in the workplace and with society.
That is incredible. And what a powerful message and a powerful story for you to share with the world about you overcoming that and starting this new life. I think that's incredible. What was your main point of inspiration for you where you said, you know what, I feel like this needs to be a book. I need to write my story and share it with the world. What was that main point of inspiration?
Well, it was mostly my daughter. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she's growing up to be a very strong little person, and that was my inspiration. Not only that, but I wanted to know that she does not have to ever endure any of that kind of violence or social stigma or the workplace. I just want her to know that there's something better, that she does not have to endure that. And we are Latinas, we're Hispanic, so we come from a culture that normalizes this kind of situations. Unfortunately, we also come from a traditional Catholic Church family, which also sometimes normalizes this kind of behaviors. So I just want her to know that it's not okay. That no matter what our cultural background or our relatives, our family history says, it's not okay. And she can always make that decision for herself. And I also wanted it to be an inspiration for other women or men or other people who are going through the same thing, through a domestic violence. It might not necessarily be physical abuse, but there's so many other forms of abuse. There's financial abuse, there's all these other types of abuse. And I just want them to know that if I did it, if I was able to get out and start a career and go through all these things, that they can also do that. That there's a support. They just have to choose to leave that situation.
I think it's incredible. And you are obviously so strong and brave. And I love that you're sharing this story with the world because you're right. There's so many types of abuse and people can get out and they can start this new life. And I love that you're empowering your daughter, with that message as well. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today about you, your book, or the message within the book?
I just want people to know that, like I said, it's not something that they have to endure. There's so much support for survivors, and unfortunately, because we don't know where the resources are once we leave that horrible situation. Many times, survivors go back to their abuser because they don't find that support that they need. They feel like they can't do it on their own because that's all they know. I myself, my story in the book doesn't mention this, but I myself did go back to my abuser once, and that's where this horrible event happened, the one in the book. But it's if we all, I just want everyone to understand that how important it is to support the survivors, because it's when we're at our most vulnerable time, and if we don't have the support needed, all this stigma, all this finger pointing, the judgment, all of this, it doesn't help us. It's sending us back, and we're not victims. We don't like to be called victims, because then you're telling us that that's all we are. You're defining us as a victim. We are survivors, and by being called a survivor, that alone is giving us more strength to move forward. So that's all I want people to get out of this book, that how important it is not only to leave, but also continue the support, continue on the work with the survivors.
Incredible. And you are obviously a survivor, definitely an overcomer. And I think it's incredible. Your life story is incredible. We recommend everyone pick up this book today. And it's available online everywhere books are sold. It's available on Amazon, Apple Books, Reader House, online at Barnes and Noble, all the places, easily accessible. We definitely recommend everyone pick up this book today. And thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.